My, how they grow. Our chili plants here are powering along, some a few more than others. These little tiny runts down here were very late to germinate. I think one of them is a padron. I think those seeds are just old and close to non-viability. So we're doing something about that and planting some more. These two green trays here are lettuce. They're here because that needs a slightly warmer germination temperature than some stuff, so it's come into this spot. A little bit of a fan blowing the air over the seedlings, and I sort of change and rotate those trays each day. So yeah, that's where the chilies are at. Right now it's just approaching 9 p.m. on Tuesday, the 25th of February. And I must apologize for the rest of this video after this little intro, because I was trying something different this week with a little camcorder, as I mentioned in that video. And as I discovered afterwards, the video is not very stable, it's very shaky, and the sound is pretty terrible. So it's a bit of a lo-fi postcard this week. I'll quickly show you around some of our other seed progress at the moment, and then we'll crack on with the big Monday day at the allotment. This here is my next lot of seeds to plant. It is a couple of chilies, 1 and 2 positions, and then some capsicums, eggplants, and the big black seeds are okras. You can see they're quite keen to grow, those ones in the middle there. So they need to be potted up soon. They've had a little chamomile tea soak in that chamomile tea there. They were in the hot fridge for 2 nights, which is a bit longer than usual, but I have discovered that's not a problem. And now I need to get them into some pots, so I don't want them soaking too long, so they're just on a bit of damp tissue paper there in our warmest room. And that's why our dining table that is never used as a dining table looks like this. And this is some soil that has been sieved and sterilized, and that will go into the little pots for those seeds in the other room. But that's going to be a tomorrow job. And in the conservatory is where most of the seedy action takes place. Excuse the mess. We have our potatoes chitting over there. Some of them have pre-chitted in the bag a bit too much, really, but oh, they'll do what they do. And this is just some little salad leaves they're left over from our winter polytunnel crop plantings, and we've just sort of been slowly watering them and occasionally harvesting a few leaves. That is the allium test planting from a few weeks ago in a previous postcard. I think that was around Christmas time. And what that discovered is that all of our spring onion seeds were no use. None of them were germinated. So we got some brand new Ishikura spring onion seeds, and that's what's in this tray here, which obviously is not much to look at. They only went in a couple of days ago. This here is a selection of cabbages, Bright Lights chard as well. Here we have some various types of coriander. We're unsure of the viability of some of that seed, so we just put a whole pile in. Some spinach and some other rainbow chard. And this here is our root trainers with Aqua Dolce Claudia broad beans in one half, and some Vespa field beans in the other half. I was meaning to do them weeks ago, but it hasn't happened. That's life sometimes. Anyway, that is our current seed situation, and we have more in the pipeline. It's a little late, but I tend to go by the Charles Dowding calendar, which gives us, he doesn't really start in this calendar till the 14th of February. And we are thus kicking off now, and it's sort of the next month is going to have lots of seed sowing, and we're going to try and get some successions planned in. I'm pretty terrible at that sort of thing, but we'll see. Okay. Anyway, this is a little intro just done on Tuesday night because I thought I'd add a bit more on top of the really terrible quality video you're about to see, if you are game to keep watching that. But we crack on, we do some more fence, and we had a great big day down there on Monday. So, yep, on with the show. Nice. Well, it's just past 11 AM on Monday. I think it's the 24th of February. And we had Mr. Chipman, one of the arborists, call us this morning. He had a new load of chip for us, which he's just dumped down the front. I'm trying something different today. Rather than the phone camera, I have a little Panasonic camcorder that we had from some years ago. I was looking at some of our old junk and oh shit, this is hard to do one-handed. I'm getting stuff all over me. Anyway, yes, so as I was saying, I was going through some of our various piles of old crap and I saw this little camcorder and I thought, oh, that might be useful. It does, what is it, 1080p, so it does HD. So we'll see, we'll give it a go today. I didn't do a video on Sunday. There goes that door. I didn't do a video on Sunday because smooth zoom. It was crap tomorrow. Sorry, yesterday. It was crap yesterday. Get the words right, Ivan. Haven't had enough coffee this morning. I focus on that because that one is clearly going to seed. I think it looks like it might be a general problem for a bunch of these. That's happened in the space of a few days or a week. These ones are definitely seeding down there. So I think I might just harvest them off and see what I can do with them tonight. Bit of stir fry for dinner perhaps. Anyway, I'm going to take my backpack off and get ready to fill in that fence trench. That's what I'm doing today. And then the guy might be back around 1 PM with some more chip and maybe even some willow logs for us. We'll see. It's the allotment log lady. It's a nice willow log. We got that as well as a few others. I don't know how this is going to come out. This is on my other phone microphone, so it might be a bit iffy. But yeah, the woodchip guy dropped us off some logs. So we're going to try growing some mushrooms. That's the plan anyway. We'll have to get some sort of special spawn for it, I think. Anyway, so that's our willow log collection. There's some thinner ones, sort of medium, and this quite large one in the middle here. And I guess the plan with them is to get hold of some shiitake plugs or something. That'll be cool. Anyway. I don't know why I keep saying anyway. Shovel and dirt. It's amazing how heavy a wheelbarrow full of dirt is compared to a wheelbarrow full of wood chip. But we're going to start filling in this side of the fence we put in. I've often wondered why there's a pile of dirt back here. And what I figured is that maybe some allotment holder is digging themselves a bunker. Obviously not. But it kind of dawned on me today that the only place it possibly could come from is the graveyard. So what we're doing today is we're shoveling grave dirt to use to backfill our fence trench. It's quite funny, I told Kat this, I said, I think it must come from the graveyard, and Kat was like, well duh. Oh well, I'm a bit slow. But yes, that's obviously the case, I'd say, and you can see it's sort of behind there and those weeds. There's a whole mound here, so I basically think that excess grave dirt from over there is gradually ending up over here. And it looks like they've put some piles along the fence line there as well, potentially. That might explain why the gate has been moved to the centre there where the easy path is, and why it's no longer locked. Anyway, I have grave dirt to shovel, and there we go, a wheelbarrow of grave dirt. It's actually decent. It's mostly looking like it's this paler, deeper down stuff, so it's fine and claggy and probably doesn't have too much weed in it, which actually makes it perfect for backfilling the fence trench. Okay, now time to lug this all the way back to the plot. And that's the last bit of trench to backfill on this side, and we're pretty good. It's all been done. We've been trying to sort of tamp it from both sides to keep it fairly even, but it's definitely looking pretty good now. Oh, right into that glorious sunshine. But yeah, it's looking good. Cat's just fossicking down here, some more dirt into that spot. Anyway, I'll get this wheelbarrow load into this last batch, last hole, into this last hole, last batch of grave dirt into the last hole. So sunshine and rainbows. That looks like it's landed on the house at the other end there. I wonder. Okay. Well, we're coming up to nearly 6 hours down here since I got down here at 11 for Chip Man, and I've done all sorts of little bits and pieces, and Cat came down a little later and has done a bunch too. I started out pretty much just doing some odd jobs, pottering around is what I say, and got some tidying done in this polytunnel. So all that wood that I've been tripping over for ages is gone. Off the paths, though a lot of it hasn't gone far. The panels are shoved under that table now, and some of the long stuff is just over my head, and a bunch of it, the shorter stuff, is outside, and some of the smaller bits are in the burning pile. But yeah, so I'm just doing a little bit of a water to finish off the day. Our top IBC there is almost empty for the winter, and that one down there is full, and I'm going to have to try and get a little, I've got a little pump which in theory should run off a solar panel that I've also got. But these beds of course get quite dry because they don't see the rain. I mean, our ground's generally pretty wet around here, so I think if anything has got its roots down, it should be okay for the most part. You don't have to dig very far to hit water, well, hit dampness. Not so much water, though at the moment it does tend to pool at the surface quite a bit. So we get this watered every week or so, and we've been through, well, one IBC, plus we have tanks outside that catch a bit of rainwater, so we dip into that. And yeah, hopefully when we get all this sorted out properly, we'll have a pump set up that transfers from that IBC to the top IBC, and also from outside gutters. That's the long-term plan, to have all of this space self-sufficient from rainwater. At the moment we fill these up from the tap outside, which of course is local council chlorinated water. We try to let the chlorine evaporate off for a while, and that's sort of how we get our water over the winter, because they turn the taps off. So I fill both those IBCs, and that's where our water supply comes from. Now outside, I got rid of some of these pallets. I was just finally getting sick of having to weave and duck around so many bits of garbage. So we've made the paths clearer. I got all those logs out of the way. There were some conifer logs from the first or second lot of woodchip, no, the very first lot of woodchip this season. So we've got a nice big walkway through here now, and that was also a pile of bricks there. So there was logs and bricks, more logs over there, not the raspberry cage is clear. So we're going to put a load of wood chip into the bottom of that. I was thinking about paving it, but I decided it just was a bit silly really, so we're just going to put a nice thick layer of wood chip in there. These are the bricks that were over in front of the greenhouse, just where I was standing. We haven't quite decided what to do with them yet. I think between them, and we've got more down here, we've got quite a bit of brick, and there's a few more over here that I've been using as sort of a little fireplace. So yeah, we've sort of done a little bit of tidying, so all those logs are down here now, and this is some willow on top, which came with today's wood chip, which is also covered in the video. I mentioned that earlier, depending on how I edit all this together. And then the main sort of job we were supposed to do yesterday, but chickened out because the weather was garbage, was get soil into this fence trench. And now the fence is looking real good, real happy with this. It's fairly taut, the dirt on the bottom has pulled it down a bit more. Cat's little protection for some bulbs down there, a few random bulbs in this plot. We'll let them flower and then decide what to do with them. But yeah, no, real happy with the fence. We are going to call that job pretty much done now. And the spot where I'm walking here now doesn't have mounds of dirt, so it's really easy to walk around, and we're gradually opening up space. Obviously there's this stupid old IBC that came out of the ditch in the middle right now, and that's those pallets that I took out from the front, sorry, from the side, from right over there. And there's a jet going overhead. I don't know how that's going to affect our sound, so I don't know how this experiment is going to go using this camcorder. It's obviously got much better optics than a phone. It's a proper little camera, and unfortunately it doesn't work with any microphone I've got, so I don't know how the audio is going to come out, especially with jets going overhead. The other microphones tend to sort of cancel the jets out pretty much somehow. Anyway, one more bit of watering and then going to start packing up. And that's us done. Some new wood chip there. Some of that stuff was a bit coniferous, so Kathleen has dropped that down here. Everything's looking much clearer around here. The fence is looking awesome, like I said earlier. Kat has just brought a bit more wood chip down here. We've got things a little bit neater now than they were, though still all the same junk. We saw down that way a little bit a moment ago. Same old junk up the back of the plot, nothing's changed there. Some of this pallet fence is gone because I decided, since the polytunnel has its protection now, that's all good. We've moved that water butt there for now. It might live there, it's not a bad spot for it actually. And this is our makeshift door securing for the one that isn't screwed on. And that's the last job I've done today, as I've fixed this fourth door. So it's got the mesh on properly now, and with a couple of mends in it. Not the best mesh, it's just recycled stuff that came on the other plot. But the polytunnel itself is secure against pigeons and rabbits, so we should be okay with that hopefully. And yeah, that's us done. Just a funny little latch closed. And the garlic's looking good. One of them is really titchy for some reason. I don't know why. It might just, I assume it's just the variety. And but that's good. And let's grab my backpack. Now that will probably be the next fence we deal with, this front one. Look at that, there's some nice little snowdrops down there. We think we will, well, we definitely will transplant them somewhere else, because this whole fence line's going to come out and this is all going to get dug up. Okay, time to walk home. We'll walk via the new big wood chip pile, hey? And there it is. Nice non-leafy wood chip, mostly willow. Okay, the sun has set. We had some beautiful sunshine today, and that makes up for our lack of Sunday allotment time, I think. At least double fold, because we have been down here for more hours than we usually manage, so that's great. Anyway, time to swim home.